welcome to Book Buzz, brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
And I'm Miss Linda, and we are back to give you the second half of February of what's going on. And actually, this time it's going to end up with more books, which will be fine.
We're buzzing about those books.
We are buzzing, and it's only going to happen after Miss Shannon complains one more time about the fact that her shirt is not pink.
I'm not happy that my shirt's not pink, but I'm moving on.
Are you?
Yes.
You getting over it?
No.
Oh.
But
you're not getting over it.
It was an order error on my own part. Buyer remorse is a thing.
It is a thing, buyer remorse.
Yeah.
So
I did not know when I was ordering that I was not getting a pink one, and that Linda was, and I think that is unfair in so many levels.
Unfair.
And but I will say the material of my shirt's nicer than yours.
It is. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think you'll be wearing that next February?
Yeah, and I'll bring it up again if I am unhappy about it.
Okay. That's not going to go away, is it?
No, not until I don't wear it anymore.
All right.
Well, we do. We keep our seasonal library shirts. We circulate those as much as we possibly can.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
And we've been around long enough that we have quite the collection.
Yeah,
we are in season 10. We should look and see what we wore in season 10.
That's
season
right.
1 and see if any of those things are still in our closet.
Oh, God. For me, probably.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
We'll move on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So it is a wonderful day. We are in February. We're doing some fun programs. We do have our weekly story times going on for the next couple of weeks. There will be a break to start our spring session. We wrap up at the very end of the month, and then we'll start spring in mid-March. So just make sure you're keeping track of that. We've started a new program. We've done this in the past, and we haven't done it for several years. We're bringing it back again. We're offering a sensory story time. We're partnering with Marianne Faber, who is a local occupational therapist. She does offer sensory story times at other libraries, in her workplace, things like that. It is a very small capacity of children that we take for this program, so you want to make sure you sign up for it quickly because it does fill very fast. It's geared for that like preschool, early elementary school ages, like 2 to 6 year olds, and it's really cute. The first one we had in January was really well attended, really well received. So we're looking forward to bringing that back. We have one for sure scheduled in February. We have one again in March, and then we're going to kind of go from there to see if it's something we'll offer maybe just during the school year. If we'll do anything during the summer, I'm not sure. So that will be February 15th at 10.
Yep.
So get signed up for it.
Great program.
Yeah.
Yep. We talked about it last time. We had it in January. It was full. Every spot was taken with the parents, and every single child and parent came out happy. And Marianne, who ran it, was just as happy and felt very successful with it.
It was very,
we're excited.
Very good
to offer
Absolutely.
sensory. Yep. Okay, so we have that going, and then one more time, we're going to talk about the Tween Book Club book. It's called A Duet for Home. And I forgot to mention, too, is that when you register for the Tween Book Club, the first 5 registrants get a copy of this. So that's pretty cool. Get your
their own copy to keep.
Their own copy, yeah. You keep it, and then otherwise you check them out at the library. So this one we talked in great length about last time, but basically the synopsis is about what it feels like to live in a homeless shelter. And this girl, June, how she felt when she went in, and then how she felt when she was hoping to come out or to make some changes in the system. So
yeah, that sounds like a gripping one. I need to scan that for my Goodreads to add to my to read list. That sounds like a really
It does.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that, and I'm gonna have to read it or listen to it myself pretty soon. So it is leap year. So let's leap. That's exciting. So
wait, were you going to say let's leap?
Yes. And then I remembered that we're like kind of physically tied down with our microphones and everything. So there's no leaping today, but we're leaping in spirit, and we are going to be celebrating leap year with, and I don't really understand, honestly. I'll just throw that out there. I don't understand leap year.
Okay.
Or like why.
Why there's a leap year?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not sure I have the answer to that
Okay,
either.
well, we'll find out and let you know. But if you know, let us, you
Yeah.
know, feel free to phone a friend and
Phone a friend.
and let
I'm
us
going
know.
back to the library and looking
doing
it
our
up.
research on this.
Look
Anyways,
up
so
our
we are
resources.
celebrating leap year at the library for our teens. You know, any excuse we can have to have a party, we're going to have a party. So we have a teen-only leap year party that's going to be held on February 29th at 6:30. So, you know, we don't always have a February 29th, but in leap year we do. So that's kind of neat. Like my cousin's birthday is February 28th, so sometimes it's the last day of the month and sometimes it's not. So this year it's not. So there's our frog leaping there. Look how cute he is. So we're going to have our leap day party. Games, snacks, trivia, all kinds of fun things. I'm guessing one of the trivia questions is why there's a leap year. So I'm going to get that wrong because I will be honest in saying I don't know.
Well,
So
by then we're going to know.
we're going to ask Beth. Maybe she has all
We're
the
going to
answers.
know. We're going to get that
So-
answer. But here's my question. What happens to the babies that are born this year on February 29th? When do they celebrate their birthday?
That's true. That's a fair question.
When do they celebrate? Do they go, okay, well, you're going to have celebrate on the 28th? They're certainly not going to wait until the 29th rolls around again for another leap year. So if you're born on February 29th, you don't see that date very often.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. We'll have to look into that one too. See if we know anybody. Okay, let's do books.
I feel like somebody
What? What?
said that they wanted to get married on the 29th of February. That way they wouldn't have to worry about celebrating their anniversary every year. I feel like Ed said that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then they end up getting married at Christmas time. But that was like the original plan.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so you don't have to buy, yeah. That's cheap.
Yeah, but then I mean, if that's your birthday, then do you only get a birthday gift every however many years it is?
Exactly. Well, think of how young you'd be, because if you don't celebrate, you don't age, right?
There you go.
All right,
Fair.
I'm in.
Okay. Interesting. We obviously we didn't pre-plan any of that, or else maybe we would have had some answers for you.
Yeah, I wish we
but
had.
That's okay. This is some food for thought. This is what's going to keep Melinda and I up tonight, is worrying about leap day.
It will.
So we're going to move and buzz right into some books. So do you have a good book to buzz about?
I do. So, like I said from the last episode, that the books that I chose to talk about for February are based on kindness, and let me find the notes about it. Kindness, compassion for the month of February. It just felt warm. But when you hear about these books, at first thought you think, oh, wow, that's heavy, or that's, ooh, sounds sad, or whatever. But there's a reason behind it, and it helps students look into the real life problems of other people and how it's dealt with or not dealt with, but also how is it seen from a student's standpoint. Like you look at some of these stories, like this one, Al Defo about being deaf. How do your fellow classmates react to that? Are you compassionate? Do you help them? Do you make fun of them? Do you just go, they can't hear me anyway? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So that's, okay. So this one, so saying all of that, we've read this before in book club. Boy, this is another really well-loved book. It's called Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper, told from the perspective of a fearless 11-year-old with cerebral palsy. Out of My Mind is a moving novel that belongs in every classroom or school library. Melody is an extremely gifted student, but she lives each day trapped in an uncontrollable body, flooded with language yet unable to express a single word. Melody finally gets the opportunity to speak her mind when a technological innovation changes her entire world. So we travel with Melody through emotional journeys and what it's like, the choppy waters of 5th grade, dealing with issues of acceptance, diversity, that word compassion, and perseverance. So another one. And what I like about this one too is, bringing in that how things change with technology.
Yeah.
Because even when we talked about Al Defo last segment, even like for hearing aids, they talk in there how she had this big hearing aid, and now, for the deaf, that they've just made them so compact and better, and just
you maybe wouldn't even notice.
No. So, okay, what
Very
you got?
cool. So I was browsing our new books. I always like to try to bring in something that's brand new to us, and so when I was doing that, I actually found books that follow a theme unplanned. So I didn't know this was popular, but apparently it's popular to write books right now that take place on reality TV shows, which that's interesting to me. So this one is called All the Right Reasons. It is about this girl, and her parents have recently split up, and she's, for whatever reason, not happy with her dad about it. And so she sends in for her mom, she finds out about this TV show for single parents. It's like a dating show for single parents, and she signs her mom up for it, and they get picked. And so her mom's not going to be on this dating show, and one of the contestants has a son that this girl is going to take interest in. So I picked it originally because I was like, oh, it's a Valentine's Day book because it's a little love story. But then I was reading more about it, and it's not really focused on them as much as it's about the family dynamic. So it's called All the Right Reasons. It's by Bethany Mangle. So it looks cute. Looks like a good one.
It does, yeah. I didn't know that they were doing books based on.
Well, I got 3 of them. So
yeah. So well, now I believe you. It's not that I didn't believe you, but yeah, I just was not.
So that's a brand new book. Just came out recently. So yep. It says All's Fair in Love and Television.
I like it.
Yep.
I'm skipping my order here. I'm going to skip to a book. It's called Rules by Cynthia Lord.
Another goldfish on the cover.
Yeah.
There was a goldfish in your last book, too.
Yeah, my last tween book was the Goldfish Boy. So,
Lots of goldfish.
Lots of goldfish. But this one is about a 12-year-old girl. And the reason why, I'll back up, the reason why I chose to do this one next is that at the beginning, before we started filming, that discussion about the new movie Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So because of that discussion, and I'm kind of looking over my little notes here, that's what you'll see why Mean Girls made me think of this. Rules by Cynthia Lord is about a 12-year-old girl named Catherine, and Catherine is in middle school, and like most kids in middle school, she desperately wants to be accepted by, I always don't like these words, but by the cool girl that moved in next door. Like, I always had a problem with, that's the cool gang, or I can't
the popular
talk.
kids.
The popular, that's another word I don't like. Don't like that word. Anyway, so she wants to be cool, but in her efforts to gain acceptance, causes Catherine to struggle in other areas of her life, and things that get passed on and forgotten because she's too busy trying to be part of the cool girls.
The in crowd.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, anything that refers to stuff like that, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's how it is.
But
it's been that way forever.
I know, and I'm saying it as an older person.
Reflecting back.
I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now, even though now, I don't care or worry about that. But, if I could teach anybody that's going through that, like what I know now, like you could get, if I knew
the things
what
you
I
focus on.
Yeah, and you want to go,
No.
So not worth it. Everything will change anyway. So, okay.
All right. Very cool. So again, like that. This All the Right Reasons was on our new shelf, and then I went to go find another new shelf book, and I liked the cover of this one, and then the title too. It's called The Do's and Donuts of Love, and I was like, my original thought was, okay, it's Valentine's Day month. We'll do books on love and romance and things like that, and a book that has donut in the title has to be a good book. And then as I was reading about it, it is also about a reality TV show. So this girl gets put on a welcome to the first ever junior Irish baking show. So Shireen is put on to this baking show, and she loves to bake. It's a baking competition, but of course in the show she gets paired against a rival, and talking about, of course, like the cool kids and all that stuff that plays into this book as well too. This is by Adiba Jagardar. I really I apologize for pronouncing it incorrectly. I know that I can't say it. But it was about, again, a reality show. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip. So I'm sorry, I'm cutting in line.
No, go ahead.
So I found these 2 books. They're brand new. They're on our news shelf, and they both have to do with teens that are in reality TV shows. And I was like, that's interesting. And it reminded me that years back, I had read this book by A.S. King, who is a local Pennsylvania author, called Reality Boy. And I'm like, well, it's funny that this is something that's still coming up. Like, I didn't even know that reality TV shows were still like a big thing, but maybe they are. But it's to the extent that they're writing 2 current teen books about reality TV shows. But Reality Boy came out several years ago, and it is it's about a boy who was a reality TV star 12 years prior to when this book takes place. So, but he still cannot live down who he was as this 5-year-old, very troubled, televised self. So when he was 5, his family was on this reality TV show, and he was like, he was notorious. He was like, quote unquote bad kid, like having all these outbursts and stuff on the show. And now he's in high school, and he's having this reputation of being he can't like get past this. He's still that kid on that show, kind of thing. So this is a good, this one I have read, Reality Boy by A.S. King. So so there's 3 books right now that I can, if you'd like to read a book about reality TV. So all very different, but they all take place on reality TV shows, which is an interesting topic.
It is an interesting topic. That is really cool.
Yeah.
That last one that you talked about reminds me of the book we talked about last time, Restart, by Corman. And the fact, remember, he had gotten amnesia from falling off a roof, and he was known before that as the mean and bully and everything, and then he doesn't remember, but he's kind of that image is sticking with him, just like
in his story.
Oh, that'd be horrible. Like,
right.
I mean, if you had a
think about it. If you think of any like celebrity or anything that like had like something big that happened, like you still think, oh, remember that time that happened to so and so? Like,
that's true. That's true. Yeah. You don't. Yeah. But
if anything that's in the public, that type of stuff doesn't go away.
I know. But my maturity level is probably very immature because of the department we work in. We work with kids and we love them. We do love them. But people can change, but that's being too realistic for this reality TV book stuff, right? So they have to have the drama, and they have to have the crisis and all of this stuff, or there wouldn't be a story.
For sure.
All right. The next one I want to talk about, I did not bring the book. It's funny. I had borrowed the book. It came from another library, and so I read it. It's a fast read. I read it like one night, and I came in and I'm like, okay, I need to check this in. I sent it back to the library, so I don't even have it. But it's called Fire Girl.
Oh yeah, I saw that sitting on your desk.
Yeah, and it is by.
Is Sharon Draper still?
No, that's up there.
Oh.
No. Oh, here it is. I don't know what happened to that one. By Tony Abbott. And I'll tell you what, I just read it, like I said, in one day. It's one of those, and again, you just feel like, I know that the books that I'm pulling out about compassion and kindness deal with somebody that actually needs that,
Okay.
And Fire Girl, this is about a girl that was in a fire.
Oh.
And moves to a new school, and the reason why she's moving to the new school is because it's closer to the hospital that can help her, you know, and she has to move around to wherever she can get the help. And I mean, seriously burned. And there's some family stuff in there, and, you know, how it happened, and on and on and on. But then, so this, you know, imagine even having anything wrong that might bother you at that age. She was in, I don't remember, 7th grade. And going into a brand new school, a brand new classroom, and, you know, having anything, well, it's going to be like my next book, Wonder, that everybody just like freezes, doesn't talk to you, doesn't want to sit near you. The whole thing was just, but I wanted to read it fast because I wanted the end. I wanted, like, tell me that this is all going to
get better.
This is all going to get better, and it's going to work out, and I can feel good about humanity again, and that these kids are going to learn from this. So that's all I can say. I can't tell you, no spoiler alerts.
Sounds like a good one, though.
It is a very good one.
All right, so again, I was browsing our news shelf, and I originally my thought was, again, Valentine's Day. And this is a breakup book, so I guess it's not really good for Valentine's Day.
That's all right.
I love the cover art, though. It's called The Artifacts of an Ex. So this girl moves away, and her boyfriend decides to break up with her via snail mail, not email, not text, nothing. By literally mailing her a box of the things that she had left behind or had given to him over the years or whatever. So he, Chloe's boyfriend breaks up with her by mailing her a box of mementos from their relationship. And so she starts an exhibit, like almost like a museum style exhibit, for other teens who have been dumped, of where they can like put their like dumped boxes of all these, like, so like, okay, here's my ex-boyfriend's hat, or, you know, like, or here's concert tickets we went to, whatever. And so they do like in these like little, this like exhibit somewhere where they put all this stuff on display to kind of, and so super cute. So this is by Jennifer Chen, Artifacts of an Ex, fun read for February.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that sounds really cute.
It does sound cute to me,
you know, can you imagine?
Yep.
I can, you know, like, okay, it's all his crap.
Right.
You know?
So throwing out the window. You just put on display, you know.
Exactly. All right, I am also now going to skip to, I want to talk about Wonder.
That's a good one.
It is a good one here. Okay. It is so good that the book wasn't even in, but just to show you and to remind you that we have playaways, and I believe we have this on CD too, is to show you that we have this. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. It's wonderful. When this first came out and I read it, like, it's one of those that you just get tears through the thing. It's so well written. And again, it is about humanity, and especially humanity of students and kids, and, you know, how do you react, and how can you get through, like, maybe uncomfortable feelings to be able to be friends,
right,
or compassionate with people that have issues. The boy in here, August, was born with a facial deformity. Oh, and they did make, this is another one, they made a movie.
The movie was well done.
Movie was, I liked the movie. And then there were some spin-off books from it as well. He was born with a facial deformity that prevented him from going to mainstream school until now. So he had been homeschooled. Now they're about to send him to school. And boy, what an awkward age when you're being sent in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So 5th grade at Beecher Prep. And if you've ever been the new kid, then you know how hard that can be. The thing is, Augie's just an ordinary kid with an extraordinary face. But can he convince his new classmates that he's just like them despite appearances? And again, and I'll tell you what, after having read it and seen the movie, read the spin-offs, I just wanted to hug him. And,
I know.
You know, it's just such a,
all
of these characters. I know that it sounds, you know, like, oh my gosh, not another one. But it's just showing so much kindness, so much compassion for people with different struggles. And I think just as a general reminder during this month that, you know, let's keep it in mind of being kind and compassionate.
Very cool. All right, I think I have one quick one to wrap us up. This is another romance, but it's hilarious. It's called A Complicated Love Story Set in Space. And it reminded me, it's kind of a quirky book that if you were a fan of Andy Weir's, the one where they're stuck in...
The Martian?
No. Project Hail Mary.
Oh,
so in that story, that he wakes up and he is now in outer space and he doesn't really know how he got there. That's kind of what happens to these kids.
Oh, really?
This kid wakes up, he's in outer space with a couple other teens, and he's not really sure how he got on this spaceship. And so they are trying to figure out how, and they're trapped on this. He's trapped on board this spaceship with DJ and Jenny. No one knows how they got there. They're all facing dangers of space, along with murder, aliens, a school dance. Apparently there's a school dance on board.
Okay.
And one really, really bad day. And so, obviously there's going to be some kind of romance going on between these teens as they're stuck in space. And it's hilarious. It's just a really fun, quirky kind of read. I wouldn't say that Project Hail Mary was necessarily kind of quirky, but some of his personality was, though, in it. But this definitely is. This is just a funny, fun book. So, A Complicated Love Story Set in Space by Sean David Hutchins. And
that's just the title and your description of it makes it hilarious. I think that would be a funny one to read of how do kids just end up in space. Like I've ended up in the wrong, doing wrong turns and ending up in weird places, but I've never ended up in space.
Right, in a spaceship.
No.
But so that would be a fun one, kind of different type of story.
I think.
They're all the ones I chose today were very, very different.
Yeah, they were, and mine were very
uplifting.
Oh. They are. They're uplifting at the end when you
can make it that far.
Aww.
No, just kidding. No, those are all
finding
good.
out they're good books, but
good
finding
books.
the compassion and humanity, and to know that there is.
Well, maybe there's compassion in outer space too.
There could be. There could be. We've read a few outer space ones, but I've not read that one.
Yeah.
So we have to wrap it up until March, but in the meantime, rest assured that we are going back to research why there is a February 29th and why they do this and what happens to the birthday boy that's born on the 29th.
That's a fair problem.
Yeah. Especially for you, Miss Party Girl. If we had to miss any of your birthdays, like if Jason or Justin. Oh, don't say that. Justin. I know. I remember.
Only old people accidentally call him Jason, so you better be careful with that, Miss
He was
Linda.
in yesterday, and I called him the right name. On that note, Justin, I'm sorry. Better celebrate her birthday. All right.
Well, hey, my birthday's on a leap day, so I'm okay.
That's true, because if it were, he doesn't stand a chance.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Unfortunate for the person on the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. All right, till March, and I'm going to bring some fun, uplifting, lucky books for the month of March. What do you think?
Sounds good.
I wonder what that would mean.
I don't know.